What is going on, everybody? It's the Frost, and we're back again with another Elestrals Firestorm, Divine Champions Firestorm, introducing Hibernation and a new power to the Ursa deck. Bears finally getting good? We'll see.
Firestorm pre-orders are now available worldwide, and it's time to reveal a few of my favorite cards from Hestia's new starter deck. Let's take a look.
By the way, I've seen the list of these starter decks, and they are not playable. They are literally like, you're just getting these starter decks to just take what you need for other decks, because they are not playable, like, at all.
I don't know about you, but I am very excited about Divine Champions Firestorm and kicking off this countdown of 25 days of reveals. Absolutely nuts. Yesterday was crazy. Giving you guys all the rundown, all the facts, all the awesome products we have from our brand new playmats and double starter deck bundles, which are amazing. We've got the new sleeves, we've got the new booster boxes, and the blister packs, and everything in between. What an incredible, incredible time it is to be an Elestrals.
I was wondering why we're getting all the products before we know pretty much anything. Well, obviously, if you went back to before Moonrise was finally revealed, one of the LGS store people got a little excited and decided to throw every single product from Moonrise on their site for pre-order, leaking everything. So Dan was just like, you know what, we'll just do it ourselves first. Which, that's what embargoes are for, and if somebody breaks an embargo, they get sued. Plain and simple. This is why you don't break an embargo.
Caster. If you missed that video, definitely check it out in the description below and tell all your friends about it. Today we're going to focus on Hestia and the champions of Hestia and a few of those key cards that you guys can look forward to in your Hestia Poseidon double starter deck pack, as well as some of the cards that are going to pave the way for how Hestia is going to work for the duration of Firestorm and beyond. This is just the tip of the iceberg, or maybe just the little top of the flame in the hearth. We're going to break it all down for you guys. Let's dive in. Oh, and don't forget, if you didn't pre-order yesterday, you really should pre-order today. Pre-orders over $50. Get that Stellar Exaltair promo, which I'll tell you more about very soon. And of course, that promo does indeed scale. Every 50 you spend, up to 3 total copies. You can get the playset if you get a booster box and a starter deck. Absolutely nuts. We're changing everything. Get that pre-order in quickly though, because quantities are limited. All right, let's kick this one off by reminding you guys about the new Fire Divine Hestia. Hestia is an incredible new divine that allows you to disenchant fire spirits from her to special cast a 1-spirit fire Elestral from your hand with fire if your opponent controls the same number of Elestrals as you or more. So turn 1, you could just special something out like a Smokey, draw a couple cards. You could also, if your opponent has an Elestral, you can special one out and then just ascend.
This is basically just Fire Tadpuff, just done differently. Instead of you expending 1 to put down a Fire Elestral and to ascend into them, this is basically this. You can do this pretty much the same way, but you have to disenchant 2 instead of 1, which is crazy that they didn't go with up to 4 spirits. But of course, Divine Healing, this probably wouldn't be a dig. Like, having Divine Healing with Hestia is great, especially for like late game. You play that Hestia, you get Divine Healing, you put 4, like say, you put those on there, you get the 3 on there, and you can do this multiple times over things, and you just, boom. So, Hestia with Divine Healing is definitely going to be a combo you want to do.
A lot of really cool applications here for Hestia that are going to allow you to swarm the board in a way that you've never been able to do so in Elestrals, and it's going to enable some really awesome ascension strategies as well within the fire element. A lot of good things to look forward to, and this was an opportunity for us to lean more into the aggro side of fire. I know in the past, fire has kind of lacked some identity. It's got a little bit of artifacts, got a little bit of burn, got a little bit of mill, and we're going to continue to kind of highlight some of those, but I really wanted to dive a little bit more into the aggro side of fire with this set.
Also, with it being Hestia instead of like an Elestral itself, you can use any 1-cost Elestral to ascend into a 2-cost on the same turn, which is fantastic, actually.
And how Hestia can function in a super cool way. Not only will you be able to get Hestia in your starter decks, but it's also a pullable holo in the Firestorm set. That's something that we added a few sets ago back in Daybreak to allow you guys to get more copies of your Divine Runes more accessibly. And I think it's a huge win. It's always fun pulling these as holos, so look forward to that when you're opening up your booster packs. Not only
hopefully that means like with the game, it's Hestia versus what was it? Poseidon. We'll also see Poseidon in the Zeus also. We'll see them in Firestorm with reprints. So those divines are more able to be pulled and not just be relied on full arts from Shattered Stars or Set 1 and beyond.
Not only that, but Hestia has a gorgeous
Look at that full art
that you're going to be able to pull. Our first pullable full art that you guys can enjoy. This one is nuts. You guys know we always go so hard with our full art divines, and Hestia is no exception. And you might notice something special in her hand.
Torchin.
Let's talk a little bit about that. That artifact in Hestia's hand is none other than the Torch of Hestia.
Torch of Hestia.
This is a brand new artifact that only costs 1 spirit. The empowered Elestral gets +2 attack. That's a pretty good buff for a 1 spirit artifact.
My goodness, man. It's so much better than
Elestral
Hammer.
Declares an attack, you may foretell 3, which of course means that you could look at the top 3 cards of your deck and rearrange them in any order. If Hestia is enchanted, you can add a fire card foretold this way to your hand.
Dude.
That's pretty bonkers. Not only is this...
It's so much better than Hammer of Hephaestus. It really is. It's only a 1 cost. And you can get, if you end up foretelling 3 and you get a 1 cost Fire Celestial in your foretell, you get to add it to your hand. Dude, this is such a much better fire than, like, dude, fire is getting redemption for sure.
This 1 spirit artifact going to allow you to buff your Elestral's attack by 2, but it's also going to allow you to set up for your future game plan, and when paired with Hestia, it's going to give you even more opportunities to acquire resources and execute your game plan that you set out to destroy your opponents. Firestorm is really the first set that I've had an opportunity to look at all of the things we did in the first chapter of Elestrals and really try to work upon some of the things that I did really well and some of the things maybe I could have done better, and I recognize that artifacts in general have been kind of lackluster, so we wanted to kind of raise the bar for the artifacts in the set and moving forward, and you'll see quite a bit of artifact support.
Maybe all the artifacts will now be 1 cost instead of 2 because, let's be honest, 2 costs just seems a little much
throughout the rest of Firestorm, but Torch of Hestia, I think, is a really bright spot in the world of Elestrals as a new artifact that's going to kind of encourage the usage of artifacts moving forward. The utility here is nuts, and of course the opportunity to buff your Elestral's attack, use it as a Nexus bank, and pair very nicely with Hestia. I think this card has a bright future ahead of it. In yesterday's reveal, I told you about Hestia's Ace Elestral, Majursa, champion of Hestia, and this card is no joke. One of the strongest cards to date that we've printed, and today I'm going to shed some more light onto why this card is so strong. But to recap really quickly, this brand new Majursa card, which by the way, enjoy its new starter deck art, as well as the art that you can pull as a regular rare in the booster boxes, features 8 attack and 13 defense, and when you cast it, you can destroy cards on the field up to the number of Ursa Elestrals on your field, and it does indeed count itself. So if you're able to get 1, 2, 3 Ursa Elestrals on your field and slam down Majursa, you can wipe your opponent's board and do some massive damage.
This is great for having this on the field if you can somehow get it on the field, and Hestia as well, because you can put this down and then disenchant 2 from Hestia, especially with Divine Healing. If you have, say, 6 on Hestia for whatever reason with Divine Healing, you can take 2 off, put another one down. That's able to destroy 2. Next turn, if you're able to keep both of these on there, you do it again, you get another 2. You get another one, you have 3, so you pretty much got a good board state going if you can get Majursa on the field.
Damage. Not to mention, your Ursa Elestrals are going to get +1 attack for every Fire Spirit enchanting each Hestia on the field, meaning that you can pair it with Hestia and swarm the field with your bears, getting massive advantage and attack buffs that can be used to devastate your opponents and gain tremendous advantage.
Once again, the Hestia with Divine Healing is going to be should be very good, especially with each fire enchanting the Hestia. So if you have 1 Hestia down and you put the 3 on there, so that's 4, then you Divine Healing up, what is it, 3? That's 7. That's +7 attack. It's 7, right? No, +1, yeah.
In a deck that already swarms really, really well. Gotta shout out the armbands, by the way, on Majursa. It's signature tie-in to Hestia. You'll see throughout these Divine Champions, of course, that they all have little accessories that tie them to Divines. It's such a nice little touch, and it's something that I truly loved about creating these sets. And don't you forget, this Majursa has an incredible full art box topper as well that comes as a 1 in 4 chance with every booster box. So grab a bunch of booster boxes, test your luck, get yourself that nice full art Majursa. I love that art, by the way. They're so good. Like, the box toppers are so good. Now up next, it's time to reveal a totally brand new card, and that is Scout, champion of Hestia. I love this little bear. It comes in with 2 attack, 4 defense, and my man's just making a little marshmallow. He's got the little bands on his arm as well, and he's just adorable. The painting of the background on this thing is so gorgeous, and this thing has an incredible effect.
That's
when you special
interesting.
cast this Scout, you can search your deck for a champion of Hestia and add it to your hand. That's right. If you can special cast this thing out, you're going to be able to grab any one of your Champion of Hestias and put them right into your hand. That could be your Majursa. That could be any of the cards I haven't revealed yet.
This is also a good one for like if you can special cast this. When you special cast this, so with Hestia, and you have a Nexus on the field, like say you have a Kinley on the field, you can Nexus fund this over, and then get that you get that Champion of Ursa, get the Majursa, Nexus over to Earth Scout. You got 2 on it, then you get to normal ascend into Champion of Earth, the Majursa, and there you go.
A lot of possibilities there, and of course, if anyone's familiar with bears, it's not that hard to special cast out an Earth Scout. You don't even have to use Hestia. Obviously, a Hestia allows you to special cast it out with her effect, but you have the opportunity to float an old Earth Scout into this Earth Scout. And don't forget, because it's a titled Earth Scout, you can run 3 base set Earth Scout and 3 Earth Scout Champion of Hestia together, and you have tremendous potential there. You can use Earthseer from base set to destroy something and special cat out Earth Scout, and then grab another Champion of Hestia from your deck. A lot of possibilities with this card. I think this card is going to be an incredible tech card in bear decks and potentially in Hestia decks as well. I love this design. I love the little bears, and I'm just getting started for bears, baby. We've spent a lot of time highlighting the 4 divine champions coming in Firestorm: Hestia, Hermes, Poseidon, and Zeus. But surprise, surprise, those aren't the only divines getting love here in Firestorm, because we've got a brand new card, Urskode, Champion of Kione.
Okay.
Right, the other divines are getting love too in Firestorm.
Why wouldn't you just leave those for when they come up for the double packs in the next few sets? That just doesn't make any sense to me.
Firestorm is not a set focused entirely on 4 divines. In fact, all of the divines will be getting some love in this set, and it's going to be...
So most of the Elestrals you're going to have in this set are just going to be Champion of 4. Are we getting any new Elestrals in this set? That's my question. Are we getting any new Elestrals, or is every Elestral in this set going to be Champion of something?
Built upon over the coming sets, so a lot of stuff to be excited for.
I don't know about that.
This brand new Ursa Elestral. Urskode, Champion of Kione, comes to the field with 2 attack and 4 defense. You can target a face down rune. It cannot be played as long as this Urskode is enchanted.
Okay.
The effect can also be activated an additional time on your turn if you also disenchant a Frost Spirit from your Kione. This is something that I think bear decks can really appreciate, and this card ends up becoming a really cool tech card because you can special cast it out, target something.
It's got Chill effect basically.
From playing it, and when you pair it with Kione, which by the way there'll be some really cool support there in the future, you'll have an opportunity to shut down your opponent's rune play in a bear deck that will be very, very unique. You'll have to hold on for a little bit on that one, but in the meantime, I think this card has some really cool potential amongst the bear decks as a way to reduce your opponent's opportunity to respond to your plays with their counter runes and set yourself up for success as you work to establish your board state to then slam down your massive Majursa and deal incredible amounts of damage. For those who've been keeping up with the Elestrals over the last couple years, you know there's some really interesting support for bears already. We've got 2 incredible runes, Ursaden and Don't Poke the Bear.
Ursaden is one of the most useless cards out there because all your opponent has to do is oh well, I'm gonna put down my my stadium and your Ursaden's gone. If you have extra spirits on there, too bad, because yeah, nobody plays Ursaden. Don't Poke the Bear, very good card. Definitely one of those definitely a good card, and it does make the bears a lot more viable. But Ursaden, don't play Ursaden. All your opponent has to do is just play their stadium and Ursaden goes away. If you had any extra spirits on there, you're screwed.
Ursaden is a stadium rune that says when it gets 4 spirits on it, you can search your deck for a bear and special cast it to the field. And Don't Poke the Bear is a really powerful counter rune that allows you to battle trick your way to victory by giving your bears different attack buffs in the stage of combat. Very, very awesome stuff, and it's one of the things I think people really look forward to when exploring the bears. However, it's time for us to reveal a brand new rune for the bear suite, one that is going to change bears forever, and in my opinion, put them completely on the map. One of the most powerful cards I think we've ever made. It's time to reveal High Bear Nation. High Bear Nation is a new invoke rune that costs 1 frost, and man, oh man, is this card nuts. This hibernation can only be played if you control an Ursa Elestral. So you've got to get an Ursa to the field, and then you can play this card with 1 frost, no problem. Target up to 2 fire or frost spirits in your underworld. Return them to your spirit deck, or enchant them to your Ursa Den. If you do, draw a card.
Okay,
you read that right. You heard me right.
So again, that's if Ursaden's even on the field, because again, if all your opponent has to do is go, well, you have Ursaden, I'm gonna play my Den, this is gonna definitely have more people want to play Elichick, so not Elichick, but Jolton to get their stadium in their hand. So anybody who wants to play Ursaden, well, you played Ursaden, boom, I'm gonna do that.
This turns a 2-card combo of Ursaden and Hibernation into an immediate Majursa or Glaciersa or whatever bear you want. This is nuts. One of the challenges with Ursaden as a stadium is that it's very expensive, right? You play the 2 to play it, and then you kind of got to build it up, and then you're throwing away 4 spirits essentially to get this massive special cast. Hibernation is a card that's going to allow you to power up your Ursaden incredibly fast in 1 turn by simply playing Ursaden and then just healing the spirits to your Ursaden, or you could just heal them to your spirit deck if you want. And then you get to draw a card. This card is nuts. I'm just gonna straight up say it. Like, the bear potential here is real. You're gonna be.
Dan has been realizing since the beginning of this, the entire beginning of Elestrals, that bears have been god awful from the beginning. Like, there was like barely any effort into making the bears good. So he spent the last, I don't know, 4 sets trying to get the bears to be playable. After the first set was just like, why would you play bears? Bears are terrible. Why the heck would you even touch bears when there are so many other things that you can play? That it's like, that's how bad bears have been from the start, that he spent 4 sets trying to make them good.
Be able to use all the great bear tools you've had, like Urseer and Urscout, and now the new champion Urscout, and you're gonna have the new Majursa, and you're gonna have Hibernation, and you're gonna have Don't Poke the Bear, and the deck's gonna build itself. There's gonna be so many cool things you guys can do with this. The fact that you're gonna be able to slam out your Majursa with no problems at all is gonna be devastating for your opponents. Bears are on the map, baby. Hibernation is real.
Yeah, see, like, definitely with the Ursaden, that's one of those cards that with Hibernation, if you want to play this and do this right, you absolutely do not want to have Ursaden played unless you have Hibernation in your hand as well. Plain and simple. If you go, oh, I'll play Ursaden and hopefully get Hibernation, you're wasting your time because that den's going to be gone. This is one of those things, if you happen to draw Hibernation, you don't have, like, if you don't have the den in your hand and you have like multiple copies of Hibernation and you just want to heal 3, like up to 3 back to your spirit deck, you got yourself an Ambrosia. Good on you. But if you have the den and then you get Hibernation, it's like Hibernation can be played without the den, but you don't want to play the den without Hibernation. Plain and simple.
And it's searchable. It's searchable through Ursicle from Frostfall. This is going to be so fun. Legitimately, probably my favorite or second favorite deck to play in this set. This card is so much fun, man. What a fun combo card. So much advantage, and it's exactly what bears have needed since day 1. I can't wait for you guys to play with it. It's so good. We're really just scratching the surface on the things that we can explore here in Firestorm, but I wanted to kick things off with one of my favorites, which is the bears, of course. And these new cards being added to the bear arsenal are going to be massive for you guys. It's going to be such a fun deck to play, and bears are finally going to be on the map, like I said. I can't wait. I think the potential with Hestia swarming the field, I think the potential of the bears just swarming themselves now with Ursaden, there's so much cool stuff you can do with this. I hope you guys are as stoked as I am, because I just love it. And listen, I told you guys, these double starter deck bundles, probably the best product we've ever done, right?
I don't know about that.
And Poseidon starter deck, $25 to get 2 starter decks built into one. You get.
Yeah, but have you seen the list of the starter decks? They're like dang near unplayable. It's basically this: take the piece that you need from both to build an actual deck, because they just don't look that appealing to play. Like, hey, I'm gonna play this starter deck and try and dominate. It's just, it doesn't, like, these should be called booster decks, not starter decks.
You get 4 booster packs with it. You get the poster playmat, 2 of those in the box. Absolutely.
The only thing worth it really in these that are like make these things worth looking out for are those playmats that you can use for posters.
Really amazing. What an incredible deal. You guys are not going to want to miss out on these. And of course, we've got those pre-order bonuses going on with the Stellar Exaltair. What an incredible deal. But I did tell you guys that these starter decks have a chance to get Stellars as well. And I want to tell you guys the X out of 99 Stellar that comes in the Hestia side of the starter deck, which happens to be Stellar Urscout,
not a surprise.
Champion of Hestia. I love
That's
how
so
adorable this little bear is, just sitting next to Hestia on these stats. Absolutely gorgeous. I mean, what a beautiful art. I know I want one for sure. Like, this is on my list. And you have double the chances now in your starter decks to pull a stellar rare or a reverse stellar rare. Only 99 copies of this Earth Scout are going to be available, so make sure you snag a bunch of starter decks today so you don't miss out on pulling this absolute beauty. I don't know about y'all, but I've been preparing for this for a while. I got playsets. We're doing reveals every single day for 25 days, breaking down everything you need to know about Divine Champions Firestorm. This is just the very
Yep, that is day number 2. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. The fact that Dan spent the last 4 sets trying to get the Bears to actually be worth playing without having to add anything else to it, and you just play straight up Bears. Will it be great? I don't know. He has touted other like combo decks to be able to play that really haven't turned out that well. I mean, I know in Frostfall he was all hyped up on Morfrost, and Morfrost has been absolutely garbage for the most part, especially since Spectrus has been around, because Spectrus absolutely just bodies Abominable. But let me know what you think down in the comment section below. We'll be back again for tomorrow's reveal for day number 3. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video, and I'll see you guys on day 3. Until then, my name is Franz. I'll see you guys later.